Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Regaton. And look at this doofus. Yeah, I think she did. IH-630. The reflections of the bridge lights are playing on the unlit vid screens of the cogitator. Next to the machine stands a hunched tech priest, who bows as you approach, his body nearly folding in half. Lord Captain, the machine spirit of this mechanism slumbers. Should you wish to awaken it, use the key of your blood. Who are you and what is your purpose here? My designation is IH-630. The tech priest points his only mechadendrite at the machine beside him. The venerated Engineer Prime has entrusted this sacred mechanism into my care. It is now my duty to assist in the rogue trader's understanding of the hallowed code. But what is this blood key I am supposed to use? The key you seek is the dynastic blood that runs in your veins. It is the only way to rouse this cogitator's machine spirit. When you are ready to do so, place your hand into the mouth of the Guardian Servitor on the Blessed Control Panel. Place your hand inside the Servitor's maw. The Servitor's powerful jaws close around your hand with a screeching clack. You feel the cold metal pierce your skin and draw blood. The vid screens in front of you flicker restlessly, filling with numerical combinations. The tech priest by the cogitator nods curtly. The sacred mechanism is awake and ready to receive your request, Lord Captain. Have the tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus been able to discern how the ship was able to start her warp engine? The Engineer Prime spends hours pursuing the quest for knowledge in hopes of comprehending the nature of said miracle. May the Omnissiah's grace guide him on this journey. There is no doubt that it was a miracle sent by the Omnissiah as a manifestation of his will. Yet the Engineer Prime managed to perceive some logical connection within the streams of data. I'm not privy to this connection, but the Engineer Prime will surely share this newly discovered knowledge with you in a detailed report. Remind me who you are. I am IH-630 of the Adeptus Mechanicus, a faithful servant of the Machine God. The venerated Engineer Prime has entrusted the sacred mechanism into my care, so that I may assist you in your understanding and comprehension of its hallowed code. A Pascal has informed me that the system has encrypted data stored inside. I wish to know its contents. Without another word, Tech Priest turns to the cogitator. He raises his hands, and a prayer of binaric code pours out of his Vox device. The servo motors in the bowels of the machine grow louder, its undulating hum responding to his chant. Numerical combinations run down the screens. Scanning 0000.0. Scanning 000.5. Scanning 000.9. Sorry, I missed a zero there. Cesar Reg 789.0344. Rest initiate identification or identify. 10256. NOM operating system operate response off. NOM operating system operate response repo. NOM operating system operate respond off. I'm reading that right. And the machine spirit has discovered numerous critical errors. The data is damaged. The tech priest stops abruptly, and the green glow of his visor narrows. Registering an intact segment, the machine spirit has spoken. The worlds of Kiava Gamma and Argonis hold certain data repositories. The mechanism is ready to provide the rogue trader with data keys that can unlock said repositories. But what data repositories? That remains hidden. The encrypted data bank belonged to the esteemed Theodora von Valancius. She was the only one who could have known about these repositories. Perhaps the former Engineer Prime also could have known. Omnissiah accept his code. If I were to propose a hypothesis, it would be most prudent of a figure as eminent as a rogue trader to store her classified data in receptacles most secure. How do I accept these keys? The cogitator's vid screen blinks. Input, NOM operating system, request respond, data transfer, Act initiate 098751482. The gracious machine spirit is willing to transfer the data keys to the head of House von Valancius by means of an electu, a hypodermic tattoo augment. If you're ready to accept the keys, place your hand inside the servitor's mouth. Deep within the servitor's dark gullet, unseen, burning hot needles pierce your wrist, but the sharp pain only lasts a moment. The electu that has been planted inside your wrist should be enough to open the repository doors. I need to know more about the caches. Bit screens flicker rapidly. Input, dam comp, nom operating system stat check initiate, nom operating system rest initiate. The tech priest's augmented fingers dart around the control panel. The Omnissiah favors you. The machine spirit is willing to commence the calculation procedure that could restore the lost data. Restore the data on the cache located on Dargonus. The machine hums louder until it lets out a resounding crackle. Then the sound stops, and an unmoving numerical combination lights up on the screen. The tech priest synthesized voice sounds almost concerned. The data has been restored, but it is only a single phrase. Litanies of the motive force. That is all the sacred mechanism was able to salvage. I am interested in the cache on Kiava Gamma. The servo motors within the cogitator pick up the pace, their heavy thrum growing louder. The machine clicks abrasively for several minutes, until eventually, numerical code appears on the screen. The tech priest turns to you. Blessed are the Omnissiah's deeds. The repository in Kiava Gamma has a security system guarding it. The machine spirit has recovered a code that will allow you to disable the defenses. I have other questions. The tech priest bows. I moved the R from priest into bows. Okay, let's do some exploring. Enough stagnating in space. Alright, I guess we'll go to Pulvis Platinum next, since it's closest to Telecos Epsilon. Lord Captain, I bring dire news. A feud has broken out between the clans that maintain the Void Shield arrays. Rumor has it that the late Lady Theodora was seen on the lower decks, and so one of the families called for rebellion against the usurper of the Void Ship. That is, you. So far, no one believes their mad tales. The unrest has begun at the fringes of the compartments. The ship's enforcers are ready to eliminate the instigating clan or pacify the entire Void Shield crew. The decision is yours. Yeah, destroy the rebellious clan and find a replacement among the neighboring crews. I'll see to it, Lord Captain. Lord Captain, we have an emergency. We have received word that there has been a sighting on the lower decks. The Boxmaster's voice breaks. A sighting of Lady Theodora. The messages we have received are incomplete and vague, little more than yelling and hysterical claims. There are reports of casualties and unrest. The compartment in question has already been sealed off, but I thought you might want to look into what's going on for yourself. The situation is delicate, and what's especially disturbing, there are mentions of Adira Tlass being present at the scene. What is Adira doing there? Adira broke her microbead, so I wasn't able to find out anything from her. But Lord Captain, Adira is a Psyker, but we're in the warp. You are the only one who would risk setting foot in that compartment. And if you do not, we will never see Adira again. I beg you, Lord Captain, do not ignore this matter. Despite the carefully maintained distance, Vegas' voice is trembling with fear. It says "is trembles with fear," but that's not right. I'll deal with it personally. I need the exact location. Right away, Lord Captain. So supposedly Theodora was involved with those lenses somehow. I wonder, because we saw the lenses bring back the guy on the prison planetoid in the Rykad Minoris system. Maybe her soul's trying to come back? But since the lens she had was shattered, right? It was like fragments on the ground. It's only a partial resurrection.
The machine gun grants me insight.
The instrument terminal, an important part of the compartment's internal infrastructure, appears to be in working order. These rumors about Lord Captain Theodora, surely you do not believe them. The cogitators regularly display reports on the screens, endless chains of symbols, many of which only high-ranking tech priests can likely understand.
Keep your wits about you.
Of course not. I saw firsthand how... Wait, who's that there?
I always have a backup plan.
And who now deigns to grace us with their presence? Another gaggle of heretics and traitors thirsting to get their due for what they've done? Or is it the leader himself, who's finally grown tired of hiding behind others? Theodora von Valancius is before you, and she looks grotesque. A hole yawns wide in her chest, rusted hooks protrude from beneath her skin, and a lumpen inflamed scar cuts across her throat. The figure flickers, as though it is dropping in and out of this reality. She looks at you with the whitish eyes of a corpse, and smiles venomously. Rogue traitor, we meet at last. I've grown tired of waiting for you to pay me a visit. Theodora's look is appraising. Her mocking tone turns to one of distaste. Indeed, centuries of selfless toil and effort, and everything I left behind has gone to this non-entity. Argenta's eyes spark with fury. Warp illusion. Begone. Argenta, my dear, there's no need to make such a fuss. Why don't we sit down over a cup of recaf like we used to? I'll listen to your rapturous tales of sacred relics, portents, and your special path. You must have been so lonely without me here. No one else is willing to listen to your ravings, or help you with your childish treasure hunt. Theodora laughs melodiously, almost without mockery. At the sight of the terrifying Theodora, Abelard's face turns sickly pale. Learn spare us from the cursed apparitions of the archenemy. Is that what you're truly praying for? I can hear how fast your heart is pounding, Versarian. I think deep down you hope this apparition never ends. What are you? Theodora's lips curl in a malevolent smile. What, you ask? You dare say that to me, little boy? I am Theodora von Valancius Massimo af Scaris, rogue trader of the Imperium and commander of this void ship. And that's why you're slinking in the lower decks, right? Alas, my glorious voyage through life was ended by the dullest possible way. By death. In the dullest possible way. I knew since I staved off as long as I could. But do not weep for me, my boy. I am still keeping an eye on my property, and punishing all those who failed me. Theodora bares her rotten teeth in a snarl, her laughter piercing. You're not Theodora. Theodora is dead. There's no coming back from that. I'm dead. How is that? I am no different from those who have not yet crossed the divide between reality and eternity. I see. I speak. I remember the wrongs you all committed against me, and for all those who failed me, I've already begun exacting my retribution. I truly am Theodora, the remnants of herself that she left behind in this world. I am an echo of her memories preserved in the minds of those who cared for her. I am the taste of tears spilt for the unsaid and the undone. I am the terror of she who failed to turn the tide of fate, who refuses to look truth in the face. I am as real as the human passions that bring worlds to ruin. If you are Theodora, then tell me, who really killed you? Oh, wouldn't you like to know the answer to that question? I don't even know which would be more satisfying, to give you an honest answer or leave you to languish in your ignorance. We'll see how you conduct yourself, little boy. Where's Adira? What have you done with her? Me? What have I done with Adira? Theodora laughs mockingly. All I did was turn that little mutt from the fringes into a true servant of the Imperium. I gave her toys. I cleaned up after her antics. I provided her with everything she could ever dream of. Oh, I had great plans for poor little Adira. What do you want with me? Why were you waiting for me? Theodora rarely rolls her eyes. Matters are so dire that the pleas of one of my servants breached death's veil to reach my ears. How could I ignore such a desperate cry for help, and for my little Adira no less? And once I appeared here, of course I had to meet the pretender who has allowed this deplorable state of affairs. I'll send you back into the abyss excuse me. I will send you back into the abyss you crawled out of. You, of all the people to ever threaten me, you're the most pathetic, boy. All that you possess now was given to you in error. You're unworthy of such a generous gift, and you're incapable of holding on to it. I am here to seek retribution against all who failed me. My brainless crew, my useless officers, my pathetic servants who turned their backs on their mistress in her darkest hour. And worst of all, you, my dear heir. You who have undeservedly claimed the warrant and everything else that is mine. I'll drag it all to the warp with me, including you.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Never doubt me.
The lines on the screen look fuzzy, as if the cogitator's readout system or data storage has been damaged. The people's remains have been hideously mutilated. The flesh seems to have melted at the edges and is thickly coated in stinking mucus. Why am I stealing goods from my own ship? The wall lining is dented, as though someone tried to break their way out. Labored, stuttering growls and periodic rattling comes from beneath the casing.
I always keep my options open.
A huge shell ready to be loaded into the macro cannon breach. There's a big shell.
Let us not dawdle.
Only darkness can be seen in the open breach of the macro cannon.
Keep your wits about you.
A spilt liquid, cloudy and carrying a strong chemical smell, is the coolant used to stabilize the major cogitator systems.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Where is she? I clearly remember her being around here somewhere.
I always have a backup plan.
Ah, there you are, my little coward. Why don't you look at your captain, Adira? It's wrong. It's all wrong. Look at her, boy. My little Adira is utterly trapped in her visions. No matter. I will allay your doubts. Lord Captain. Adira turns her head to you. Her demented gaze only rests briefly on your face before sliding away. Up close, you see that the base of one of Adira's temple implants is blackened and melted. No, wait, Lord Captain, Lady von Valancius. Adira raises her eyes to Theodora, who stands before her. Tears stream down Adira's cheeks. You came back. Sorry, you came back. Theodora clucks her tongue in sympathy, reaching out to tenderly stroke Adira's hair. Poor little Adira. There. How could I not come? You're crying for me so desperately. Your plea is carried to the very depths of the warp itself. So souls do go to the warp, at least in most cases, after someone dies. But 9 times out of 10, the soul gets shredded by the Neverborn or the demons that exist in the warp as soon as they enter it. There are a few souls that the Emperor and other entities can bring to their side and keep safe, but most of them get eaten by demons. So it is possible that Theodora's soul went into the warp and is still around, but I don't know if this is actually her or not. I still suspect that it is her soul that's somehow brought back from the lens that she had. The smile suddenly drops from her mutilated face. Why didn't you save me? Why didn't you warn me? Answer me, you insignificant wretch, or I'll drag the answer out of you myself. Theodora's fingers dig into Adira's scalp, meeting no resistance. Adira lets out a soul-chilling howl and tries to grab the hand tearing into her, but her fingers pass through the monster's flesh. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything that could have had anything to do with you. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. I failed. Ah! Adira breaks into a strangled scream. You feel the air around you grow rapidly colder. Argenta wordlessly swings her weapon up and aims it at Adira, who is struggling in the monster's hold. The Sister of Battle looks at her without an ounce of doubt or mercy. Let Argenta act. One second, and Adira's body sags to the floor. At the same moment, you hear a terrifying sound, shrill and piercing laughter. Emperor grant her. Abelard stops short, staring at the body unblinkingly for a few seconds before turning away. So we killed Adira. It's probably for the best. She was an unsanctioned Psyker. Part of me thought, so I was actually split about what was going to happen there. I knew that Argenta was going to kill Adira, but part of me thought and kind of hoped that she would just kind of, graze her or something to break her away from Theodora. I mean, if we kill Adira, I guess I may as well give Irliet over to the Inquisition. Maybe not. We'll keep her around for now. If her story, like Adira's here, takes us to a dogmatic route, we'll take that, but we'll keep her around until then. The figure of the cackling Theodora von Valancius shudders and begins to change form. At last you begin to understand how important it is to promptly dispose of trash, but you've learned your lesson too late. Too late. Oh, it's just one of these guys. A little pink horror. And some blue horrors. Oh, let's buff him up first. That's fine. Yeah, he kind of I'm partially relieved killing Adira here because it rips off the band-aid with how I can handle companions in this dogmatic playthrough. Oh, it's just a warp beast. Not actually a, well, even the blue horrors are labeled as workers.
But of course,
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
So it's lame. The elevation here prevents me from hitting both these guys with a straight shot. But I can light them both on fire, so there's that.
high momentum. Who if not me? Target well struck.
That was a pretty good turn.
It's as good as done.
I should finish that guy off. I saw the line of sight line going towards him, but I thought I saw a corpse right there. I thought maybe it was bugged out.
I can do that with the right incentives. Tell me, and it is done.
Oh, not bad. Oh, does diagonal not count as adjacent? That's lame.
It will be done.
Everyone, step aside. Reckoning is due. Let's see to it. For the throne's glory.
Alright. Can't hit both of them this time. Fantastic. Dangle it. Just right.
As the Emperor commands.
I'll see to it personally. It was inevitable.
There's just the one guy left. I'm gonna get Heinrichs to him this turn. Yeah, looks like it.
Don't get too cocky. I'd like to, but I can't.
Stands against me.
Heck yeah. A Lord Captain. Boxmaster's voice shakes traitorously. I received a report that the shooting on the lower deck had stopped. I presume you have brought the situation under control. Awaiting further instructions. I eliminated the problem. Neither Adira nor the ghost of the departed Theodora would trouble us again. See to it that the bodies in the lower deck are disposed of. For a moment, the airwaves are filled with something that sounds somewhat like breathing, somewhat like ordinary interference. Of course, Lord Captain. Yeah, Vigdis and Adira were friends. I feel a little bad about that, but... She was, I mean... Realistically, a commissar wouldn't have worked with an unsanctioned Psyker anyway. But one that was in that state would have been executed immediately. Even a sanctioned Psyker that was acting like that would have been executed. Instead of regular symbols and numbers, the screens display slanted script, almost resembling handwriting in an unknown language. That's one companion down.
With multifunctionality.
Battle Psyker boots. The wearer gains perception % bonus dodge. Did I say that right? Yeah, % dodge until the start of their next turn for each enemy affected by their Psi Power or Psyker Staff attack stacks. Huh. The Warp Conductor gloves. After triggering a psychic phenomena or perils of the warp, wearer psi ratings increase by +1 until the end of combat. Wearer gains momentum and temporary wounds equal to their resolve. Can only be equipped by an unsanctioned Psyker. What does he currently have equipped? Oh, that's too good to pass up. Well, I do hate missing content. I know I'm going to play through this game multiple times, so I'm not too worried about companions having accidents.
Is there money to be made?
It's saying there's loot up here.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
I mean, we didn't loot Theodora's body. I wonder if it was Adira's body that was being registered there. But we got all the equipment from her when Argenta executed her. Okay, well, I'm going to call it here, and next time we'll continue exploring. One companion down. We'll probably lose early at some point as well. We're going to have nothing but the humans left. Cassio stuck around despite being a mutant because we need a navigator. But for now, I am going to call it here. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.